fucking shit.
Man, I have to take a plane in 5 please.
Not my fucking foul, man. What the fuck? Trust me. Doesn't work. Look my fucking skin. Bet. Look. I need exit. The fucking... It. Okay. Yeah, it's working.
What's up, citizens and dogfighting degenerates? Welcome back. Today we're strapping into a ship making serious noise, the Mirai Guardian MX. You might remember its cousin, the Guardian QI, with its quantum dampener. Well, Mirai seemingly went back to the drawing board, snorted a line of high-grade quantanium, and spat out this. More guns? Check. More missiles? Absolutely. More tankiness. You betcha. But the burning question for us really is the Guardian MX actually any good? In the dog-eat-dog world of Arena Commander, are we looking at glorious titans of the void here? Or just another batch of oversized, slow-moving piñatas? Especially when you consider a meta that heavily rewards those lighter craft, the ones that practically live on twitch reactions and blistering agility. You really gotta wonder, where does a solid bruiser like the MX even begin to fit into that picture? Can its sheer, unadulterated firepower and that promised tankiness truly overcome the intricate, deadly dance of these lighter fighters? And indeed the medium fighters too? Or is it ultimately doomed to be outmaneuvered and just generally outplayed? And maybe just as importantly, does this thing genuinely feel like a truly polished, top-tier war machine? Or are there, well, let's just say some questionable design choices lurking under the hood that might leave you scratching your head? These are the core questions we're setting out to answer. The Guardian MX is undeniably a Guardian. Chunky, aggressive, screaming, "Don't mess with me." But while other Guardians might offer finesse, the MX is about focused, overwhelming lethality. The headline? 4 size 4-gun hardpoints. For anyone who's flown other Guardian variants, the gun spacing, stacked 2/2 instead of horizontal, is a massive upgrade. This improves shot convergence and makes aiming significantly easier, especially with a heavy's lower turn rates. Shots just land better, more consistently. It's not like a Talon or Karthu-al, where guns can feel unintuitive. The MX's setup just works. These are likely CF series rhinos pushing projectiles at a respectable 1,800 meters per second, crucial for certain matchups. Then, the missiles. 2 bespoke racks, each holding 12 size 2 missiles. That's 24 little surprises ready for anyone on your bad side. It's not just a fence, she packs enhanced armour and 2 robust size 2 shields. To give perspective on its bulk, the MX has around 89,200 hull hit points. Its shield pool from 2 size 2 generators is 10,200 hit points, same as the F8C. So yeah, this thing is damn tanky. A neat bonus for stick users. Identical yaw and pitch values at 35 degrees per second, boosting to 42. This makes aiming feel incredibly intuitive. A massive plus. Now, before the verdict against the ships we tested, let's talk about things that drive me bonkers with the MX, making it feel unpolished. First, cockpit visibility. Forward view is decent, but look up, especially with head tracking. A massive, solid roof. Nothing. You're blind overhead. The frustrating part, the MX has armoured plating on the front canopy that's solid externally, but transparent internally. So they can do it. Why wasn't the roof treated similarly? In a swirling dogfight, that lack of top visibility is a real handicap. And then, the interior. The cockpit itself is clean, MFDs are functional. But behind the seat, oh, that glorious, cavernous, echoing waste of space. Where other Guardians have a bed, kitchen, or bathroom, the MX has nothing. A massive, hollow, utterly useless void. It feels like to differentiate the MX, they just deleted amenities and left a pointless cavern. This feels lazy. I seriously wish they'd put something functional there. Imagine if they skipped living quarters, but gave it a dropship flair. 4 or 6 extra seats, a bigger access platform instead of that silly tiny elevator. Instead, it's just nothing. A massive missed opportunity, making it feel way more unpolished than a new Mirai ship should. Alright, let's be blunt. The meta typically favours agility and dictating engagement ranges. So the big question was, does the MX change that equation? If you remember our Guardian QI video, that ship stacked up reasonably well. But with the MX, does trading the quantum dampener for more weapons and shields and slightly less agility actually help or hinder? That's what we're tackling. While heavies as a class still have a way to go to consistently match top-tier nimble craft in a pure 1 versus 1 skill meta, the MX genuinely surprised me. For its role as a dedicated heavy brawler, it feels super strong, though not OP, despite my grumblings about the interior. But is it enough to make you a dedicated, heavy pilot in AC? Let's see the matchups. Our tests are all 1 versus 1 arena commander duels against skilled opponents. Now, a quick educational bit, crucial for flying heavies effectively. Many struggle by trying to fly them like light fighters, dancing around, matching turns. In my experience, especially with a solo heavy like the MX, the key is specific pip management and engagement geometry. It's not about forward pressure by constantly trying to close with agile craft. That often plays into their hands. It's frequently the opposite. Maintain optimal distance. Experienced pilots know understanding your pip relative to the opponent controls the fight. With the MX against agile targets, you almost always want to consciously push your engagement pip as far away from their ship as you can, especially if they're pushing you. Let's be clear, unlike a light fighter, you won't be escaping anyone's nose in this ship once they're on you. Why push the pip away? To maintain critical standoff distance, keeping them in your optimal firing solution without letting them get too close where their agility dominates and leaves you dead. Almost never neutralize the pip to charge a faster opponent. Only consider light fighter tactics, neutralizing to close, against something heavier or slower. This understanding of pip control and optimal range is, in my opinion, the only real way to consistently win in heavies in the current meta. Simply put, to be effective with the MX, master pushing the pip away from agile opponents to control range. Never just blindly push into them. Do that, and you can give them hell. Alright, first up, light fighters. Gladius, Arrow, Talon. The Arrow struggled more than the Gladius as expected, but still, light fighters demand respect. The MX, Fighting Lights, was about patience. Tanking, waiting for a tiny window. Still often a frustrating game of please hold still you little.
English, motherfucker!
Those 4 size 4s are terrifying when they hit. But against a skilled, evasive pilot, you're painting empty space. More firepower means if they slip up, punishment is severe. 1 good pass can cripple them. But you're a big target. While you can soak more damage than pretty much any other heavy, this MX is so unbelievably tanky, with dual size 2 shields and 89,000 hull HP, you'll still eat shots. It's tough, frustrating, and you'll curse your slow turn rate. However, the biggest surprise, the MX won many of these fights, especially if flown right with that pip management. Instead of maybe 1 in 10 wins, the MX offers a solid 3 to 4 wins out of 10. Impressive for a heavy. Pilots might not know how to counter its resilience yet, but a skilled light pilot will still make you work for every point of damage. It's still a heavy, but one that can bloody the nose of a light fighter, surprisingly often. A welcome change. The F7A feels super strong this patch. In our tests, the MX got a 10-0 win rate against the Hornets we faced. Big caveat, our Hornet pilots weren't dedicated mains. Against a true Hornet ace, it'd likely be more balanced, maybe 4 to 5 wins out of 10 for the MX. The Super Hornet, with extra shields, would be tougher in face-to-face brawls, but in a straight DPS race, the MX would likely win 6 to 7 fights comfortably, potentially chaining 2 or 3 F7As. Our test showed the F7A struggled, wasting boost to close, then losing the DPS race, where the MX is king. If an F7A struggled, so did Sabres, and the Santok Yai. Speaking of the Iopoa Santok, it just didn't stand a chance. Our tests gave a resounding 9-1 win for the MX. It couldn't cope with the MX's tankiness and sustained fire from those 1800 meters per second rhinos. Now, we didn't directly test the Saber, but I suspect it might do a tiny bit better against the MX than the Santok Yai, purely based on its sleeker profile and potentially higher agility. However, even with that considered, the fundamental reality is that the MX didn't find it particularly hard going against even top-tier medium fighters. The MX is a real problem for most mediums if they can't fully dictate the engagement. First, let's consider the Aegis Vanguard Sentinel. This is a very capable ship, and it definitely boasts a significant turn rate advantage over the MX. Its slower weapon projectiles can be a weakness if the MX pilot dictates range, but if the Sentinel manages to close that distance, its agility and sustained firepower make it an incredibly serious threat. In our tests, this fight was incredibly close, often coming down to pilot skill, and who made the critical mistake first. I'd call it an even 5-5 split overall. A very nuanced and engaging fight that truly depends on precise range control and capitalizing on momentary advantages. The RSI Scorpius. Even as a two-seater, the solo MX did surprisingly well, winning around 8 out of 10. Scorpius wins were often close, or due to MX pilot error. Impressive for a solo ship. The Anvil Hurricane, another super powerful two-seater, is a much tougher matchup. The MX could get it to red hull, but focused fire from two crew nearly always won. The Anvil F8C Lightning, currently a shadow of its former self in AC. The MX batters it, 9 out of 10 wins. PU is different though, especially if you consider the Lightning's low signature, making it better at handling missile spam. But in an AC gunfight, Guardian reigns. The Ares Ion and Inferno, as expected, not even close. The Guardian won every fight with super ease, melting their shields like nothing. Now, before advanced tactics and the final verdict, a word on the resource game, especially for the PU. Two-seaters like the Hurricane or Scorpius need 2 players for full potential. So, resource-wise, would I take 2 MXs over one of them? In PU, 2 MXs are a no-brainer over 1 Hurricane. More guns, missiles, total HP, and redundancy. Sentinel. Even though the 1 versus 1 AC fight was a 5-5 split, if we're talking 2 Sentinels versus 2 MXs in the PU, I would still find myself leaning towards the 2 MXs for general purpose engagements. This is largely because the Vanguard series, while tanky, has slower main gun projectiles, making it harder for them to deal with a wider variety of targets compared to the MX's more versatile 1,800 meters per second guns. Scorpius. In PU, 2 MXs over 1 crewed Scorpius for fleet utility and firepower. While a solo MX might struggle versus a turreted ship in a 1 versus 1 AC, 2 robust, armed MXs are better for a small group in PU. Super Hornet. Now what about 2 solo-piloted Super Hornets versus 2 Guardian MXs? That's a much more interesting debate for a PU scenario. 2 very tanky, hard-hitting MXs against 2 still potent medium fighters. It really depends on the objective and pilot skill, but the fact that 2 MXs could be a serious consideration against 2 dedicated medium fighters definitely says a lot about the MX's individual impact. And quickly, larger ships. We threw the MX against a Constellation Andromeda. Definitely bigger trouble than any medium. A different fight, but it shows the MX can threaten larger multi-crew vessels as well. Alright, an advanced tactic I've been experimenting with, especially for the Guardian series with its tricky power management. In an intense MX versus MX mirror match, I opted for a slightly smaller shield pool, losing about 3,000 shield HP, focusing instead on nearly maxed out boost capacitors. Honestly, it felt way better. Reasoning: the MX has a massive 89,000 HP. It can tank some hull damage. Extended boost gives more time to maneuver, reposition, dodge critical shots, or push an advantage. Those extra shield HP from power-hungry industrial shields like the Rampart can be a disadvantage if you can't maneuver. If an opponent closes, whether you have 12,000 or 100,000 shield HP, you're likely dead if you can't move. Test it yourselves. Sacrifice a bit of shield strength for more boost. For me, it improves survivability and control in drawn-out fights. Let me know if you try it. Now, while AC PvP was our focus, I took the MX for a quick PU PvE spin. For PvE, This thing is an absolute monster. VHRT missions felt trivial. An A2 Hammerhead went from full health to debris in about 25 seconds. I did the same missions in a Hornet F7A, 100% tougher. The MX made it super easy. If PvE is your jam, farming bounties, the MX is top tier. Even I was impressed. So after all these dogfights, deep dives, stats and rants, what's the final word on the Mirai Guardian MX in Arena Commander? For me, it's the most compelling, surprisingly strong, though not OP, single pilot, heavy fighter I've flown in a long time. It has the tank, the damage, and that improved gun layout makes a real difference. It just works. Some might scream OP, but I don't think so, especially considering larger squad battles. But as a solo ship, undeniably good. I genuinely think it's currently the best solo heavy fighter by a mile. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. That wasted interior just screams colossal missed opportunity and feels unpolished. The abysmal top cockpit visibility is a genuine handicap. These detract from the experience. However, if you can look past those quirks, will it make you an unbeatable ace? Number. The heavy fighter class still has hurdles in an agility-focused meta. You'll still be disadvantaged against top-tier light fighter pilots. That's 100% fact. But the MX gives tools and resilience to fight back hard and win engagements you might not survive in other heavies. A significant step for heavy fighter viability. The Guardian MX is a brutal, straightforward brawler, sacrificing utility for a significant edge in raw AC combat power. I can see myself using this ship way more than I initially thought, even in the PU, the direct force application. If I needed quantum dampening, I'd still lean Mantis. It's a better tool for that specific job. But the MX could carve a PU purpose as a heavy escort or deterrent. Still need to test it in atmosphere, but for space combat, I'm genuinely enjoying it. Empty void notwithstanding. If I were in a medium or light and saw one in PU, I'd think twice before engaging. So, if you're a dedicated heavy fighter pilot, love the playstyle, or want a viable solo heavy, the Guardian MX is worth considering. If you can live with its character flaws, it has moments of brilliance where it feels unstoppable, and moments you'll stare at that empty room wondering,
Why?
But despite all that, I love this ship. It's incredibly strong, but not OP. It's just a damn good ship. Now over to you. What are your biggest pet peeves with the MX? Do these design choices bother you? Your combat experiences? Drop all your wisdom, witty remarks, war stories below. I read them all. If this review helped, smash that like button, subscribe for more Star Citizen deep dives, and hit that notification bell. Until then, fly aggressive, fly smart, and may your capacitors always be full. Catch you all in the verse. Monkey out.